Hello, my name is Emily Henderson, and this video is for everyone that's wanting to try yoga but hasn't really gotten a chance to yet, or someone who's been doing yoga for a long time but really wants to go back to the basics. So in this class, I'm going to be breaking down poses, moving really slowly and showing you different props that you can use to make yoga accessible so that you can always be practicing. So first we'll start in a comfortable seat. Oftentimes sitting on the floor is not super comfortable for people who haven't done yoga before. I know for me it was like not the most comfortable thing in the world, so I like to sit up on a blanket. When we do this, raising the hips slightly over the knees relieves pressure on the knees and also gives the lower back a little bit of a natural arc, so that we can feel supported. So you can have the hands on the knees, the palms can face up or down, whatever feels most comfortable in your body. Oftentimes I say if you're kind of wanting to feel grounded, place the hands down. If you're wanting to receive a little bit more, have the hands facing up. We'll start by closing the eyes. The real focus of yoga is to find union between the breath and the body. So throughout this practice, we'll learn how to breathe with simple movements. So remembering no matter what happens, no matter what the pose looks like, the main focus here is the breath. Otherwise, we're just stretching and it's not really yoga. So the breath in yoga will start by inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the mouth. Inhaling through the nose again and exhaling out the mouth. Last time, inhaling and exhaling out the mouth. This time we'll inhale through the nose and exhale out the nose. And repeating this at your own pace, inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the nose. We use this inhale and exhale in yoga because it's a little more calming for our nervous system. From here, we'll inhale, raise the arms up, remembering to breathe, following the breath, and exhale, twisting over towards the right. The hand comes onto the knee and the right hand comes behind. And coming back to center, inhale, raising the arms up. And exhale, the right hand comes to the knee, the left hand comes behind. This time, inhale, raising the arms up. And now the right hand comes to the floor beside you and the left arm stretches overhead. You can bend into that elbow as much as you need for how deep you want that to be in the body today. And inhale, coming up through center. And now the left arm comes down to the side. The right arm stretches overhead. The neck can be wherever it feels best. You can look down, straight ahead, or even up. You don't want to feel any tension in the neck though, so wherever it feels most comfortable. And inhale back to center. Repeating that all again. So now the right arm comes back, the left hand comes onto the knee. With the inhale, we lengthen the spine, and exhale, we twist. Maybe even looking over the back shoulder if the neck allows. Inhale, come up through center. And now twisting to the opposite side. The right hand comes onto the knee, the left arm comes behind. Inhale, lengthening, and exhale, twisting. Again, looking over that left shoulder if it feels okay. Inhale, back to center. If you want to, release the arms for a moment. You can switch the cross of your legs, or if it's getting a little tight, extend the legs out in front of you. Inhale, we'll raise the arms up, and now the right arm releases down, left arm stretches overhead, maybe bending a little bit deeper into the right arm this time. Inhale, back to center. And the opposite way, the left arm releases down, the right arm stretching overhead. Inhale, back up, releasing the arms down. Moving into tabletop position. If you have any sensitivity with the knees, I like to use a blanket under my knees to support this. So unfolding the blanket if you have it, and coming on to hands and knees. Spreading the fingers really wide. the toes in the back can be relaxed. The main goal here is to make sure the hands are spread wide so we're protecting the wrists. The shoulders are right above the wrists, and then the hips are right above the knees. And the knees are hips width apart. Inhale, we drop the belly, opening the heart, coming into cow pose. Really letting it hang here. And as you exhale, rounding the spine, pushing through the hands and knees to arc the spine into cat pose. Inhale, opening the heart into cow. Exhale, rounding the back into cat pose. Inhaling again, opening the heart, cow pose. Exhale, rounding the back, cat pose. Coming back to center, we'll open the knees wide and sit the hips back into child's pose. Couple different options here. You can set the hips back, extend the arms forward, and place the forehead on the ground. But oftentimes in the beginning, I like to use a block under my head, bringing the floor a little bit closer. We just want something for the head to relax on so that the neck can completely let go. If this does not feel supportive in the lower back, roll up the blanket. And you can even place a blanket under your knees here so that the hips have something to sit on. Again, we're just bringing the floor a little bit closer. So here's another option for child's pose. And the main focus here is just to release the shoulders, the head, and the hips. Coming back up off of the block and removing the blanket if you have it. We'll keep the blanket rolled up like this and we'll set it off to the side for now. Extending the right leg forward, we'll keep the left leg bent here. Something I like to do is to place a blanket under my knee. We don't need this leg to be completely straight to have a stretch here. So I like to place it under my knee so that it gives a little bit of ease to the lower back as well as the upper hamstring. Inhale, raising the arms high, and exhale, place the hands down wherever they land. Oftentimes we think we have to reach for our toes, but really letting the shoulders relax is going to let everything else in the body relax. So we'll take 3 breaths here together, inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the mouth. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the mouth. Inhaling and exhaling. And slowly coming up, we'll switch sides. So the left leg extends long, we'll move the blanket, and we'll bend the right knee in. Something I forgot to mention as well is that if you want to sit up on a blanket as well, having 2 blankets in this pose is really nice. Again, lifting the hips up and assisting in the lower back. So bringing the hands outside of the left leg, we'll inhale, raise the heart, and exhale, let the arms hang. Inhale, lengthening, and exhale, release. Inhale last time, and exhale, release it down. Bringing the hands back up, moving the blanket off to the left side of your mat. We're gonna let it hang out on the left side for a moment as we move onto our backs, scooting the hips forward and making sure you have enough space to lie down comfortably on your back. Crossing the right foot over the left knee, coming into a gentle hip stretch. I like to bring my right hand towards the hip and slowly push it away from me. Pushing away in a sense that's just guiding the leg. We don't have to add any extra pressure or tension to the hip. So we're just assisting it versus pushing really hard. And we want to flex these right toes towards the knee to protect the knee. If your neck and head and back feel really relaxed and your hip feels pretty open, You could wrap your hands around that left thigh, but that's just one option here. Wherever you are in this pose, please remember the breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Something I like to do is inhaling, I am calm. Exhaling, I release all tension and stress. Inhaling, I am calm. Exhaling, I release all tension and stress. And slowly release the right leg down, and we'll switch sides. So now the left foot comes over the right knee. And again, taking that hand close to the left hip will push the knee away from us. And again, if this feels open, you can wrap both hands around that right thigh and hamstring, pulling it towards the chest, but we want the head to be relaxed. Oftentimes when we pull the leg up, the head kind of comes up. And so if that happens, just place the foot down and continue pushing the leg away from you. And slowly releasing the left leg down. And we'll take both knees, keeping them where they are. We'll simply scoot the hips over to the right and then let both knees fall over towards the left. That's why we have this blanket here. So you can let both knees rest on the blanket. Oftentimes the knees won't touch the floor. And if the arms feel comfortable, you can extend the arms out to the side. If you find that the knees need more support, take a second, grab a pillow or an extra blanket and place it under the knees, because we want the back to just really release into this twist. Noticing how the inhale lengthens the chest, and as the exhale might assist a little bit in the stretch. And slowly bringing the knees back to center. We'll simply, if you want to sit up and grab the blanket, that's fine. And we'll switch sides, placing the blanket on the right side now. So bringing the knees to the chest, taking the hands either around the hamstrings or the shins, whichever feels better in your body, and just rocking side to side. Placing both feet down on the ground. And now scooting the hips over to the left, the knees will fall towards the right onto the blanket. Again, if you want more support, feel free to pile it up as much as you want. Opening the arms out into a T, palms facing the ceiling. And I think so often, I know I had this experience that I was kind of nervous to try yoga because I thought it had to look a certain way, but really it's all about how it feels. So if you're feeling the stretch, if you're following your breath, that's yoga. So if you need more props, if you need to assist in any other way, the whole point is to find comfort. And through that, we'll find ease in the breath and eventually ease in the mind. One more breath here. Inhaling and exhaling. And slowly rolling back to center, scooting the hips back, and again bending the knees into the chest. Maybe the hands come onto the hamstrings or the shins, and rocking side to side. And bringing this blanket, we're going to lie back on the blanket. We'll come up just for a moment. And in this instance, you'll use a blanket, but we also might want a pillow if you have any neck problems and you know that you'll like extra support. I'm going to use a block, but you can also use a pillow for your neck. Really simple thing that we're going to do with the blanket is lengthening it out, opening it out long, and start rolling it up in a tight little tube. And this feels really, really good for a chest expansion. If you find that your posture needs a little help, this is a really nice thing to open up. Scooting the hips forward, we'll lie down on the blanket. And you want this to be underneath the armpits. So if you need to make any adjustments, scoot forward, take your time, and then release the head down, maybe onto a block or a pillow, or you can simply release the head onto the ground. And you might feel a little different here because you're not used to having your chest this open. So if you feel pain in any way, move out of it and adjust how you need. But if you feel somewhat comfortable and just a little bit different sensation in the chest, extend the arms out to the sides, palms facing the ceiling. Or you can goal post the arms, that's bending at 90 degrees with the arms and opening the arms. Coming back to the breath again. So inhale deeply here. And exhale, let it go. Inhaling deeply. And exhale, let it go. Repeating that a few times with your own pace. Remembering that every body is different, so everyone's going to have a different breath, a different physical body, a different history in their own bodies. Sometimes I would go to yoga class and look at the person next to me and think, oh my gosh, how do they do that? But I have no idea what their body has been through in their life, and don't know if they were a gymnast or a dancer. So just thinking of the history in your body and easing into the stretch. To come out of this, we'll bring the arms down by the sides, past the blanket, pushing into the elbows, scooting the hips forward, and making our way up just for a moment. And we'll simply take this tube and place it underneath our knees. I tend to place it a little bit higher up because you'll see when I lay down, it's right underneath my knees. Placing it under the knees and maybe even having the pillow under the head and preparing for Shavasana. So typically yoga class ends with a resting pose called Shavasana. And I place the blanket underneath my knees because it helps with my knees, but it also will let go of any tension that's happening in the lower back. You can have the arms resting down by the sides, palms facing the ceiling, and make any adjustments to make yourself just 10% more comfortable. I've said it in other videos, but oftentimes we think that in order to take care of ourselves or be physical, we have to be doing something. But learning how to slow down, to focus just on the breath and allowing the self to rest, oftentimes gives us strength and energy to fulfill the other parts of our lives that we want to be invested in. If we don't slow down, we tend to burn out. So let yourself really rest. Without making any movements, simply connect back to your breath. That deep inhale and exhale. Bringing slow and gentle movements into the fingers and toes. Maybe letting your head fall from one side to the other. And we'll bend the knees, rolling over onto either side, using the upper arm as a pillow for the head. If you need to push the blanket out of the way, that's fine too. And slowly make your way up to a comfortable seat. You can sit up on the blanket if you'd like, if that felt good in the beginning of class. And bringing the hands to heart center, we call this Anjali Mudra. And closing the eyes and just taking a moment to thank yourself for this practice. Maybe noticing how the body feels now from the beginning of class. And that sometimes when we step out of our comfort zones and into that space of being a little uncomfortable, we find just what we needed in that moment. So, in yoga, we say namaste, which means the light, love, and soul within me recognizes the light, love, and soul within you. So, namaste. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe, and you can also check out yogatx.org to become a part of our newsletter to find out when new videos are being posted. And if you want to connect with me, I'm on Instagram as EmilyHenderson_yoga, and I also have a Facebook group called Emily Henderson Yoga. So thank you so much. You did great.